CEO of Chase, Jamie Dimon, had some things to say about it. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon becoming the latest high-profile business leader to sound off on the Trump administration's changes to the H-1B visas. The president announcing they'll soon cost $100,000 for new workers. Speaking with our colleagues at CNBC TV 18 in India during the bank's summit there, Dimon said the changes caught everyone off guard.
I believe in merit-based immigration. You know, as a matter of fact, I would beg the president, he has accomplished border control, that's great. I mean, I think all nations want real border control. That helps make a nation. But after that, we should have, good immigration.
We also heard from NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang and OpenAI CEO Sam Altman on H-1Bs yesterday in their interview with CNBC's John Fort. Huang saying immigration is critical to his company and America's future, and Altman saying it's important to bring the smartest people into the U.S. I saw a lot of stuff on social media that do illustrate the other side, that it's for years not necessarily really high-tech people have been hired at, in India and other places.
The average is 167,000, maybe 165.
People in the United States at the expense of people that are totally qualified in the United States. And it also might allow companies to do that without doing what the training which you could be doing for people in the United States. I mean, I can see the rationale.
I can see both sides of it. We had Robert Frank here yesterday, and he talked to us a little bit off camera. I've asked for him to come back tomorrow and say a little bit, because he's been doing research on this, talking to immigration lawyers who tell him that this has been abused. It's a system that's
we want
abused.
The best and brightest, but we want
to pay market salaries for people to be coming in. 71% of these visas go to people from India. Another 11% are going to people from China. There is a 6% unemployment rate right now, Robert mentioned, that is for recent graduates. So it's much higher than the average unemployment rate. And there are questions about a lot of things that could be causing this, whether it's AI, whether it's a slowdown in the economy, or employers thinking they just want to hold on to the people they have and not bring new people in. But there are some valid questions to be asked about whether the system has been abused, particularly.
I mean, you can't do it.
Every system that big companies or culturally is available to people is going to be abused and taken advantage of. Not only is it abused and taken advantage of, if y'all really want to know the truth, if you really want to know the truth, I'll tell you the truth. The truth is this. They say 71% of all of these visas go over to Indians. A lot of these people are not smarter than you. Listen, man, listen. I've worked with them as contractors. I've worked with them as employees. I've worked with them. There are some smart ones, but the vast majority, I would say, if you ask me my opinion, and I've met a lot of them, I've kicked it with a lot of them, I've went to lunch with a lot of them, I've had to manage some of them. I'm telling you that a lot of them are lazy. They don't work as hard as you think that they do. They are just cheap, and they are giving the perception that they are smarter and more efficient than they really are. I've seen them get put on pips. I've seen them get fired. Bruh. Listen, bro. Listen. It's almost like I've worked with them for so long and for so many times and so many different instances. I remember when I first started working with them a lot of these H-1B Indians that are working on a lot of these projects in these information technology sectors. And I couldn't, it was so hard to decipher the language. I've worked with them for so long that I was able to translate a little bit. As far as because they would be speaking English, but the dialect is so heavy. The accent is so heavy that people that are new coming in, it's almost like they just got to listen intently to it. And so new people that would come in, like this white girl, she came in straight from college or whatever, so on and so forth. She was a big back. I remember. I won't say her name. So, she was a big back though. Very much running in the victim Olympics. I will also tell you that white women are fairly lazy themselves. For some reason, they keep skating by, barely skating by, but still getting a paycheck, and they be lazy. And boy, let me tell you something. I'm gonna break down corporate America for y'all. All right, let me break down corporate for y'all really quickly. Every person in corporate America, for the most part, because nobody is a monolith, and obviously there's different people in corporate America, there's a prototype. There is a prototype. The skinny white girl that looks halfway decent, she usually is working in human resources. She works in some capacity that does not force her to do the day-to-day heavy lifting. There's a big back white woman. She usually is serving in some capacity sometimes she could be a scrum master. Sometimes she could be a project manager. A lot of times they are in some creative role. They're artsy. And when they're younger, they be artsy. Once they get a little bit older, once they get into their 30s and 40s, they get a bigger back. But I will tell you, their calling card, and I know a lot of black men. It's a lot of black men that trust, and a lot of Indian men that trust, and a lot of white men that trust. But I'm going to tell you, I have had more big back white women come to me to tell on you about what you doing because you felt so comfortable with them, and you went to the company outing, and then you got comfortable, and now you say stuff like, yeah, I'm going to dip out of work early, and they're going to be the first one to call me and say, hey, Anton, such and such is dipping out early today. Such and such is dipping out early today. They cannot wait to tell on you. So for all of y'all that feel so comfortable dealing with these people on a regular basis, they snitching on you. Now, you also have the tale of two Indian IT workers. Okay, I'm a profile for y'all today. As I've been in this game, I done seen it all, did it all, been around it all. You have the tale of two IT workers, two different types of Indian IT workers. The women IT workers, the developers, the programmers, and all of that, they tend to be a lot smarter, and they tend to be a lot more driven. The women Indian IT workers do not like the men Indian IT workers for the most part. They loathe them because the men Indian IT workers tend to be a little bit more unkept. They always come in with their shirt untucked. They tend to be a lot lazier. Their work is not standard, but it's just enough most of the time to still get by. A lot of times they wind up getting fired and on a PIP, and they're not as smart as you think that they are. But the women Indian IT workers, a lot of times they get promoted because they have a better work ethic and they are able to communicate more effectively. Also, women Indian IT workers are looking for husbands. The older ones tend to be married, and they are very successful, and they're married to somebody successful. And so they pull their money together. And even though they are able to hold on to positions inside of corporate America, somehow, some way, they're still able to turn on their submissiveness, and they're able to make their marriage work. I don't know how. I don't know why. I don't know why this is a thing. But I'm telling you, I done been invited over their houses. I done had conversations with them. This is a real thing. Now, the younger ones, they willing to do whatever. You know what I'm saying? They tend to be more adventurous. They trying to figure out how to adopt American culture a little bit more, but still maintain their Indian heritage and all of that stuff. But they still are very productive in their jobs. Very productive in their jobs. And they're not quite big backs. You know what I'm saying? It's a mixture. However, a lot of times they soft everywhere. They soft. You know what I'm saying? A couple rolls here, a little bit of Pillsbury there. But it's not quite big back, but they got youth on their side. Sometimes they grow out of it, but a lot of times they just walk around, and the next thing you know, they got on Obama jeans, and that's the end of the conversation. You know, she got potential, but it is what it is. Okay? Tamika, am I telling it or am I telling you? Now, you also have the white guys. Now, the white guys, it's a tale between two white guys also, because you got the white guys that are very reclusive, right? They tend to be developers. A lot of times they have been in that role for a long time. They have bad attitude sometimes, and they're willing to push back. They're willing to push back because they smart as hell, and they know that it ain't nothing that you could really do to them because they wrote the manual half the time on half the stuff, and they've created a space to where they've made the job so dependent on them that you can't get rid of them, and so they just be in there in that same position for a long time. A lot of those same white guys that's developers, they in them same positions that I've already graduated from, and they still sitting there, and they don't mind telling a little bit too if they don't like you. But a lot of times they are against the company, but not so much to where to mess up their paycheck. Those are the ones that's been there for a long time. Those are the snow hairs. Now, the younger white guys, a lot of times they're a lot more motivated. They're ready to get through corporate America. They're ready to grow. They're networking effectively. They spend their time and they do all of the things that they're supposed to do, and they're working, and they're always at the company picnic. And so they tend to volunteer a little bit more. Although, as I was transitioning out of corporate America, I'm starting to see a lot more sassier white guys that's in there. All right. Then you got your Asian, your quant, right? Asians, they mind their business. They do what they're supposed to do. They attend their company meetings, and you never know anything about what they got going on outside of work. They do what they supposed to do. They smile. They are nice. They usually are good at whatever the position is that they do. They never get fired. I've never seen an Asian man or woman get fired. I've never in my life ever seen them get put on a PIP. I've never seen them get fired. I've never seen any of that type of stuff. And you never know what they got going on outside of here. Never, ever. Then you got your black woman, right? Black women, especially in information technology, a lot of times they work in a call center. Now, the call center is going to be filled with black women. Call centers inside, because they're usually on a different floor, right? So the top floor is usually the executive floor. One floor below it, most of the time, it may be the call center. And then the couple floors below that is like everybody. It's a mixture of project managers, developers. A lot of times the developers be in a basement because they're reclusive as hell and they request that space. But black women, they take over. I don't know if they get all of their friends in or whatever. They take over the call centers. They love call centers. I don't know what it is, but they love call centers. But then you'll get the black woman that tends to be a lot more motivated, right? And so they love the DEI positions. They love call centers. They love human resources. And then they also tend to mix in a little bit sometimes with like project manager or whatever. But you never see a black woman as a developer. You never see a black woman as a scrum master. You're never seeing a black woman as any of those positions that are extremely technical, right? They tend to be in the business realm or whatever and all of that type of stuff if they decide that they want to level up. And then you see the black man, right? Black men in information technology is probably the most coveted position outside of Asians. And people don't even know this. People don't even know this. Black men and that have a, now I'm not just talking about in the call center or whatever, because it'd be black men that be mixed in inside of the call center and they be gossiping with the gossip girls. But I'm talking about the guys that are truly in technical positions. As a developer that moves through corporate America and upper management or whatever, they move fast. Because if a black guy chooses most of the time to go into a professional position, usually he worth his salt. Usually he about that life. He's gone through school and it's not a lot of his peers. Usually he's the only black guy in most of his classes. When he goes into an organization, it's very rare that he sees somebody else that looks like him. And a lot of times they're really good at what they do and they're really great at networking. And a black guy that knows his worth and that is truly like in a technical position or is moving up in corporate America when it comes to information technology, he know he the man. He know he the man when he go home amongst his peers. He knows he's the man when he goes home amongst his peers, because it's not a lot of us. It's not a lot of us in cloud, information cloud. It's not a lot of us. You're going to very rarely see us inside of the universities. When you go on campus, you're going to see all of the black guys in the same thing: business, marketing, African American say. A lot of times black guys in college, they go into the same stuff that the women is going. I've seen guys in college only be there for the hoes. But if you actually see a guy that levels up and is doing what he's supposed to do, and he takes it seriously, he up out of there. He's up out of there. He's getting there. He's going to move up. He's going to network. He's going to be loved. He fits the narrative, and they can't wait to promote you. And that's how I know that most people that are complaining online and saying, these positions ain't even available for us or whatever, I know they just ain't never even really tried. They've never stayed down long enough to get the results, because they don't even realize that it's opportunity out the world, out of this world. There is so much opportunity for people that want to take what they do seriously, and hopefully your kids hear this, or hopefully you young people or whatever it is hear this. Is so much opportunity for you. You are a god when you go into these environments and organizations. So for all of y'all that just want to keep saying and be lazy and you don't want to make the time and make the short-term sacrifice, man, listen, put away the women for a second. Stop playing 2K for a second. Stop playing Call of Duty for 5 seconds and go and get your education and go and get this money, man, because it's going to be money forever. It's money forever. We just don't want to do it. We just lazy, bro. It's so much money that is available in these spaces. You have no idea, man. You have no idea. It's so much money in these spaces. You don't have a clue. They will pay you crazy money. And when I say crazy, man, listen, bro, it's the best kept secret. It's the best open secret that I could tell you. Everybody walking around like that man in the bonnet yesterday. Oh my God, how am I supposed to pay my rent? You get into the right field, you make a short-term sacrifice, you never starve. You never starve. Even if you fumble a bag or two, even if you go and trick off and go and get you a big car or something like that, and you live in a life, you got time you don't matter, because you're going to be making money for the rest of your life. You in there. You out of here. You're out of there. It's a huge separation between the tale between black men that's successful and black men that's just middling or not successful is vast. It's one of the biggest gulfs that I've ever seen in my entire life. It's vast. Because there's the guy, and I ain't talking about rappers and all of this stuff. I'm talking about real life people that understand it from a business perspective, or the guys that's going to be sitting here begging for reparations every day. Guys that are getting it, they cop. Let me get this off my screen for a second so I can have a conversation with y'all. Guys that are getting it, that even pretend like they care about what you're talking about when it comes to reparations, they cosplaying. They don't care nothing about what y'all talking about, because they won. They won. At some point, either he going to become a millionaire or he's already on his way to being a millionaire. They won. They won at life. If you put the video games down for 5 seconds, if you focus for 5 seconds, buddy, I'm telling you, your life is going to be vastly different. Black men in America, let me tell you something, bro. I'm gonna talk to you, and I'm speaking from the heart, because I know a lot of y'all always complaining, and you be inside of my chat complaining about your situation and women. The world is your oyster. If you make a 3 to 4 year sacrifice, you will never, ever complain about life ever again. Ever. Your biggest obstacle is going to be battling to lower your taxes. And your second biggest obstacle is going to be trying to figure out where you fit in this niche of the culture. I know it's going to be a lot of people that don't like what I'm saying because they're not going to put in the work. But if I could just put a battery in your back, and shout out to the bag chasers, shout out to the Patreon members. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Come rock out with a group of people that actually understand what you're trying to do. There's going to be a small percentage of us that actually make the move. And it ain't nothing that nobody going to be able to do. Because you are literally walking as a God on this earth if you are a black man that is successful, and it ain't nothing that nobody can take from you. You are the cream of the crop, creme de la creme. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you see a woman that sit there and talk negatively about you, I promise you it's because she jealous of the fact that she can't get no visibility into your life, or she wishes she was with a guy like you. They all gonna say the same thing. Trust me, you are a walking lottery ticket in a lot of people's eyes. Your biggest problem is going to be, how do you get away and how do you decipher between the people that actually want to add value into your life and the people that's just trying to use you? You're not going to be worried about the same thing, all of this little crying and this little complaining and stuff like that. You got a 3 to 4 year window. It take 3 to 4 years. And it shouldn't even be that difficult because some of y'all do prison stints longer than that. Some of y'all do prison stints longer than that. Some of y'all be in a gang longer than that. Some of y'all just waste time in college longer than that. All you got to do, I'm telling you, all you got to do is go and get it. It's a window. Make the sacrifice for 4 years so that you can live the rest of your life the way you want to. I'm telling you, the world is yours. The world is yours. And it ain't an Indian, it ain't a white man, it ain't an Asian, it ain't a Latino man, ain't none of these men. Arabic, none of them even compared to you when it comes to your window. 2025, there's never been a better time to be a black man in the United States of America. I'm telling you the honest to God truth. There's never been a better time to be a black man in the United States of America than 2025. The world is your oyster. I don't give a fuck what these people is talking about online. You can say what you want. You walk like a king. You control the narrative. It's yours. The world is yours, bro. If you had a bad year, it don't matter because the next year is going to be 10 times better. And there's some of us in here that already know it. They already get it because they live in it. And we can't even convince you otherwise. I wish I could break it down for you. I wish I could break it down for you. I wish I could tell you, forget the H-1B visas. I know we were supposed to talk about that, but you know this is the Millionaire Derailment Show. And so you hear me derail on some of the jokes that I be telling and stuff, but I'm so serious. I'm so serious right now. I'm so serious right now. The world is your oyster. All you got to do is grab it, bro. All you got to do is grab it. You can have anything you want. You know what my biggest prayer was? Lord, give me the character to be able to handle success that I know is coming. I already knew it. Lord, bless me with good character in real life, not on this entertainment stuff. Bless me with good character in real life to be able to handle what it is that you're about to give me so I don't crash out on success. Come on, man. Let's get this money. Let's get this money. All of this other nonsense that y'all talking about, we go get the women, we go get the money. Listen, we gonna get the money. Then we can figure out whether or not we want to be good people afterwards. You know what I'm saying? We can argue. Listen, we can argue later. Y'all ready to get this money or what? We can debate about politics. We can go and debate about hoes. We can go and debate about what city is the greatest, what rapper is the best. Bruh, these rappers, they not touching some of us. It's some of us out here that the rappers wish that they could be like us. They got a small window of opportunity. Now, obviously, you got the Drakes and you got the Kendricks or whatever. We ain't talking about them. We talking about the rest of them niggas. The rest of them. The rest of them, the ones that's on the Chitlin circuit, the ones that's trying to make it, they got a small opportunity. These NFL players, broke. 5 years out the league, broke. We gonna make money forever. Our daughters, people around us, they ain't got nothing to worry about because we him. Come on, y'all. Let's make the sacrifice. Let's get this money.